we feel that chlorine dioxide is the most effective way to not only cost effective, but best way at handling different viruses and bacteria loads.
Hello, welcome back to the Dairy Podcast Show brought to you by Wise Genetics. My name is Barry Bradford from Michigan State University. Today, I'm joined by Jared Dueppengiesser, who's an agri-hygienics representative. Jared, thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
So tell me your story a little bit. Where did you grow up? Did you start out in the dairy sector or did you migrate into this?
Yeah, so I grew up on a dairy in Western New York, the town of Perry. We milked 1,200 cows there. So in 2018, we ended up selling our dairy. Obviously, it took a lot of time to make that decision, but ultimately we felt like that was the best move for us and our family.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, I continued into the on the dairy industry, and so that's where I got my passion for the dairy industry and doing what I do today.
Gotcha. And then did you do an animal science degree? What experiences did you get after the farm then?
Yeah, so just to go back a little bit, I graduated from Cornell in 2018. My sophomore year at Cornell, I did an internship in Michigan, in Hudson, Michigan, on one of Milk Source's dairies out there. So I was out there for 8 weeks or so, working with the herd team, just getting exposure on a larger scale dairy. And that really kind of helped me further my decision to eventually go with work with Milk Source. So I really appreciated the how intentional they were with building their culture, how much they care about people, and their focus on that. And ultimately, they have tremendous care for their animals as well. So I bought into that, and really I knew that either I wanted to be part of that, or if I was going to have our own dairy or continue to run our dairy, that I wanted to really follow that culture and build that culture wherever I was.
Excellent. So I know Milk Source is a very well-known multi-site uh, dairy business. So you did an internship with them, got your degree, and then you went back to work for them. Is that right? And where did you land then with them?
Ultimately, when we ended up deciding to sell our dairy in 18, at that point, I had reached out to John Vosters about the potential to work with them. And they didn't really quite have an open position at that time, but one was made and I fit in. And then eventually I moved to, um, I started at Rosendale Dairy on the herd side. And then shortly after that, I moved to managing Omro Dairy, which is their crossbred and Jersey dairy right now. And that's a smaller dairy in their group. And that allowed me to get my feet underneath me, have a better understanding of how to manage people and cows at the same time. So then after I was there for a little over a year, I went back to Rosendale to manage at Rosendale, and that's ultimately where I stayed until I moved back to New York.
You moved then to New York just recently, or when did you shift jobs then?
Yep. So just recently moved back to New York in May, and that was it was a very difficult decision to make, and it took a while to make that decision. But ultimately, my wife and I wanted to be closer to family as we're growing our family. We value the relationship that we have with our family, and wanted to be closer for not only to have them close, but we know that we'll need the help someday. So
Yeah.
having that is gonna going to be huge. So
There's some practicalities there too.
yeah,
Yeah.
there were a lot of people along the way that that have helped me, and I have to give my dad a ton of credit for always challenging myself and my brother to take on opportunity when there is that, and always be looking for what opportunities there are out there. He works for ST Genetics right now, and he's out in the Northeast territory. And I just he's always pushed my brother and I to really seek out mentors, and it's all about people, and we realize that, and who you surround yourself with. Dr. Galton is one that he's had a huge impact on my passion in the dairy industry, but also as a friend and mentor. And then also John Bosters has been a huge person in my life for support, but also just learn a lot from him being in the same room as him. Um, and there's countless number of others, but also when I was at Cornell, Mike Van Amberg, Tom Overton, Julio Giordano, they all shaped, you know, my focus and helped me really, and my passion for doing what I'm doing now.
A lot of good mentors in there for sure.
Acepsis, an ounce of prevention. Acepsis LLC is a Wisconsin-based animal wellness company focused on the development of state-of-the-art animal hygiene technologies. Our company's mission is to apply innovative hygiene solutions into animal agricultural and veterinary applications, improving the wellness of the animals with a focus on sustainability. We accomplish this through the continued enhancement of our chlorine dioxide-based technologies within a wide range of agricultural hygiene applications, from facility and animal hygiene to water treatment.
So, I mean, one thing I'm hearing you say is, the recognition that finding good people, working with good people is really, central to success. Are there other things you picked up that you can spotlight as things you took away from your experiences at Milk Source and before that?
Yeah, and like I already kind of alluded to, I am super passionate about people and working with people, and just being around great people and employees. And so that was key to me at when I was at Rosendale. I speak Spanish, and I think being able to have that communication with your employees is key to success, so that you can really have an understanding of, not only what's going on at work, or what challenges they're dealing with, but also getting to know them outside of that and more on a personal level. Also, while at Milk Source, I learned about Six Sigma, and that, you can talk for hours on that, but just really reducing variables, and focusing in on how you become lean and more efficient on the dairy. And then ultimately, I had the opportunity to work with Acepsis, with their at Rosendale. We used their product there, and got to have a good understanding of the team at Acepsis, and ultimately got a really good idea of what their passion is and how they come alongside the dairy and the team at the dairy with that mission to improve milk quality and so many other things. It's a whole team approach that they really went after, and I was really attracted to that.
Okay, so you've now taken a job with Acepsis, so obviously you had a good first experience. So tell me a little bit about what that company is. What did they sell? What do you sell?
Really, the main reason why I ultimately went with Asepsis. I really, as I mentioned, I really like the approach that they have. They have a small management team, but in that small management team, they have over 180 years of dairy experience. Um, we work very close with Dr. Reed, Dr. Kolb, and Dr. Ernest. So I really love the approach of we're not just here to deliver product, drop it off, see you later, hope it goes well. We're following it from step one all the way through, continued support, and that I really think is key, because there's a billion different companies that can deliver a product, and they can deliver a great product, and we know that. But the key thing is that we're bringing added value by coming alongside the dairy and helping figure out what can we do. It's not only going to be our product that helps improve milk quality, but what ideas can we bring to the table to um, help reach your goal. And I think that's the big thing with when we step on a dairy, we want to think the biggest thing that we need to do is ask questions and listen, rather than going there and giving them the whole rundown of what we've got and how great it is and this and that. I think when you stop and ask questions and figure out, okay, what motivates the owner here, what are they really passionate about, and then how can we utilize what we have and our tools to work with them. And additionally, I've always been on the dairy management side of things, so it's a different type of role for me. So I wouldn't say I'm the greatest salesperson in the world, but what I do know is that in order to do that, um, I have to be not only passionate about the product that we have, but also believe in it. I can't go to a dairy um, and not really believe in what we're doing and or what our product is and try to sell that to somebody. I can't sleep at night knowing that. And that doesn't mean that it's going to work in every situation, but I can confidently go on to a dairy and know that we've got a great product to offer.
Yeah, so it's probably worth taking a minute just to explain the products that are on offer, right? So you're kind of in the milk hygiene space. Talk me through that.
Yeah, so Acepsis is a company based out of Lodi, Wisconsin, and um, we have focused our efforts on the use of chlorine dioxide in different areas, including pre and post dip, um, calf and maternity facility hygiene, and then also water treatment. So we believe in that's another interesting thing that I found about Asepsis is that um, they have focused all of their efforts into the one product that they really believe in. So there isn't a whole lineup of 5 different types of dip and this and that. We really have focused the attention and efforts onto specifically chlorine dioxide because the most effective way to not only cost effective, but best way at handling different viruses and bacteria loads.
When you approach, let's say a farm reaches out to you guys and wants to know about it, how do you approach it? You talk about bringing sort of a value added approach. Obviously you can bring a system in or a product to the table, but what's this comprehensive sort of assessment that you do or the value add?
Yeah, so I think just I try to use my not only my experience from my previous employment at Milk Source and at Rosendale. I certainly don't have it all figured out, and I'm learning new stuff every day. But I was exposed to a lot of different situations, and just by having that volume of that many cows, you see a lot of different things. So by no means do I have all the answers, but I have been exposed to a lot of different firsthand experiences that I hope that I can bring ideas to the table. But then ultimately, we will, no matter what it is if it's sand issues, or if it's a herd health issue, we have built a team around us to really try to help you in any area that we can. And if we don't have the person that has the answer, we'll get them, and that's the key thing is I think, you know, even though we have a ton of experience in the group, If we don't have somebody that has the answer right away, we will search and we'll get that to the dairy.
You mentioned the chlorine dioxide based technology, and the evidence that that's maybe the most cost effective, most effective way to maintain milk hygiene or udder health.
Hmm.
Um, what's the basis for that? Like, talk me through that a little bit. How do we know that that's the way to go?
I don't want to get caught saying that it's the right answer for every dairy, because every dairy is dealing with different issues, and I'm sure there's dairies out there that have used chlorine dioxide, and it just doesn't, quite frankly, just doesn't work on their dairy and their situation. So it's while it's maybe not the answer for everyone, I do feel like it is a great product. But chlorine dioxide from, let's say, company A is not equal to company B. So I was kind of blind to that. I didn't really know that until I started talking with Acepsis back when I was at Rosendale, and um, there is a difference. There is a huge difference in chlorine dioxides in the on the market, and a lot has to do with the way that we um, are making our ready to use product. So we have a super concentrated activator and base, and with that, we're not shipping around water, totes of water, and um, we're really reducing the footprint by doing that. And we're blending it on farm, making the ready to use product on farm. And something that we do to measure the efficacy of our product is by looking at ORP, which is oxidation reduction potential. So that's just a measurement that um, really tells you the ability and the capacity for an oxidizing agent to kill bacteria and pathogens, and the speed that it's able to do that. So we really shoot for above 700, and there's studies on this that we didn't make this up. This isn't something um, that we founded. It's across the industry, but it's something that's a tool that we use to look at the ability for our product, or any product, to effectively kill bacteria and viruses. So that's something that's unique, that I found unique with Asepsis, and then also just their system that we use to make our ready to use product on farm. It's there it's a system that is very customizable the to each dairy. So we don't just make one set product and that's what you get. It is customizable to each dairy, depending on what needs they have and what they're seeing, whether it's the emollient that we put into it, or color, or foam, you name it. You can make it really whatever you want. And what I really liked as a manager when I was using the system was, um, it also will send you any alerts that you if there's anything that's going wrong with the system, or if the water supply goes short, where there's really not a lot of those out there that'll tell you what's going on. So I really liked having that ability to see that. And then also, as a manager, I liked that I could see exactly how much product was made every single day on farm, and what we were actually applying to the cow. So rather than just guessing what that might be, we know firsthand through our system what that actually looks like. So there's innovation to that, and we're continuously putting efforts into modifying that, updating it, making it better, to make the best product we possibly can.
I understand the value of the highly concentrated product, that it lasts longer. You're not shipping a bunch of water. Are there issues to deal with in terms of the potential health hazards of the highly concentrated stuff, or how do you actually handle that?
So yeah, we stay below a part per million level that's actually hazardous to be around.
Okay.
You certainly, I mean, no matter what you're using, you always need to be cautious. But it's a it's a product that with the activator that we use, it's not harsh on teat condition either. So that's something that in the past, I think when more of the chlorine dioxide technology was coming out, um, there was some issues with that, and there still probably is to this day. But that's something that we've made sure that we focus on, so that isn't a concern to the dairy.
Elevate animal performance with Berg and Schmidt Animal Nutrition, your trusted ally in excellence. Their high-quality feed ingredients like coated nutrients and fat powders provide ruminants with extra energy, boosting health, productivity, and cost efficiency. Unleash your herd's potential with Berg and Schmidt.
So we're mostly talking about T-dip, but Acepsis offers products on the calf side too. Are you involved in that, or are you focused more in the parlor?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm involved with all areas. So it's also the calf facility and maternity area. It's all, like I said, through the use of with chlorine dioxide, and then also utilize use the chlorine dioxide for water treatment as well. So, and you see a lot of different situations out there, and I think that's what we have to be um, really mindful of. Is so if I go on to a dairy today, everybody in the parlor is using some sort of pre-dip and some form of post-dip, whether it's our product or somebody else's product. So the implementation of it really isn't a big hurdle. I think what we do, especially when it comes to the calf and maternity area, hygiene, is if that team is not using a product today, um, we can go put that there, tell them how to use it, and if we come back in a week, I more than likely the same amount of product's going to be sitting there in a week. So that's the area where we have to utilize our knowledge with it to do trainings and show the team how to effectively use it, so that they understand what it's doing. Because it is, if you're not doing anything, it's additional work, and it's maybe a little bit difficult for the team to want to accept that and do more work along that they weren't doing before. Um, but with the training, and ultimately, if we can improve the health of the calves, then at the end of the day, if they're treating less calves, they're going to have less work anyway. So just through the proper implementation of our different products, and we don't need to go down the list of all the line of products that we have for the maternity and calf facility hygiene, but there's more than just the chlorine dioxide. There's a whole line of cleaning agent products that we have as well. So it's you can look me up if you want to want to know more about that.
Well, the name of the company should help people to remember, right?
Yeah.
Aseptic.
Yep.
Well, I know we were talking before we started recording that you live not too far from Rochester, New York, so fairly high population density area. And I know you said you grew up in a less populated area. So if you could tomorrow put up a billboard to explain one thing to people who have no connection with the dairy industry, what would you try to communicate?
I think that the biggest thing is you'd probably just put up we care, whether it's we care about employees, or we care about our animals, we care about the environment. I think that's something that needs to be spread out there. And I think there's so many incredible dairies and managers out there that are doing that and are continuing to do that and doing more and more of that to really expose what's going on these dairy operations. It's not um, it's it's a large scale business that really has a huge impact on every community that they're in, and I think getting that across that we really care about what we're doing and care who we're doing it for is a huge thing.
It's time for our famous three. Our Yeast 40 is a natural biotechnology from ICC designed to boost the health and productivity of animals under challenging production systems. Our Yeast 40 performance is supported by an unique processing technology that results in a pure product containing high levels of beta-glucans, MOS, and yeast metabolites. These factors, combined, promote the ruminal and intestinal modulation, helping the animals to reach their full potential.
All right, Jared, if you're ready, we've got the three big questions to throw at you.
I'll see if I can get them answered.
So first of all, do you have a go-to dairy-related book or resource that's your favorite?
Yes, I do. I am a podcast guy, so um, with doing more driving that I had done in my past, I do listen to a lot of podcasts and listen to the Up Level Dairy podcast with Peggy Coffee. And I really think that she brings a lot of different experiences and insights from the dairy in a lot of different ways. And it's just learning from each other and learning about how other people are doing it, I think is how we continue to grow and how I feel like I can grow as an individual and make a bigger impact on the people that I'm working with.
Excellent. Okay. What about your favorite book or resource outside of agriculture?
This is gonna it's gonna sound bad. I'm just not a big book guy. I'm not a big reader. I I come home and if I start reading a book, I probably fall asleep. So with that, I listen to podcasts once again, and a lot of those are leadership podcasts. One of them is with Craig Rochelle. Um, that'd be one that I listen to frequently, and just same sort of thing, getting that's not necessarily dairy related, but getting ideas for how to be an impactful leader. And right now, I don't necessarily have anybody that I am leading firsthand, but when I go on dairies and help with trainings with the different teams, I need to be able to continue to bring that that level of leadership while doing that.
Very good. Do you know the name of the podcast that Craig Rochelle's on?
Yep, it's just a Craig Rochelle leadership podcast.
Oh, okay.
He makes it pretty straightforward.
Excellent. All right. So last question then. In your opinion, what sets successful dairy professionals apart from those who are less successful?
It's a good question. There's a lot of different ways to success and a lot of different ways to measure success. So if you're measuring success by how much money I made last year, then that's one thing. And obviously, at the end of the day, you have to be profitable in order to grow. But to me, success means is all about the people. And I know I've said this a lot, but I think that's what it's all about. Success is, am I building a team that wants to be here? Am I building a team that wants to grow here? Am I building a team that has the opportunity to grow and be successful in whatever way that they view success as? So without people, we're nothing on a dairy, right? And without people, we're nothing at Acepsis. So I think it's all about how you build your culture and how you create opportunity for your employees and coworkers, whoever it is, to also be successful in whatever way they see that as.
Yeah, I really appreciate that mentality. And you're right. The first part of that being successful is defining what that means for you, right? And
Right,
not letting other people define that for you. That's good.
right.
Well, again, our guest today has been Jared Dueppengiesser. Jared, thanks so much for the conversation. I enjoyed getting to know you a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate the opportunity to be out here and yeah, I really enjoy these types of podcasts that allow you to learn from so many other people that have a lot more experience than I do and are doing it a lot better than I do. So I really appreciate that and this opportunity.
I wish you the best of luck as you really get rolling in this position.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, this has been another episode of the Dairy Podcast Show from Wisenetics. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't wait any longer. Hit the button and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And I will see you next time.